Hey guys, what's going on? It's AJ with Joe's Gaming and Electronics, and today I'm going to be showing you how to replace your right inside panel, this guy right here, on your Beats Studio Pros. If you need any of the tools, we have them on our website. You're going to need a flathead, some tweezers, clippers, something to cut stuff with, Phillips 2.0 screwdriver, pry tool. Also going to need obviously a solder iron, heat gun, and some flux. If you're looking for the part, we do sell this on our website. It's the right inside panel. Looks like this. Beautiful. You can check that out on our website. Without further ado, let's get into this repair. The first thing I like to do is actually open up the outside panel. Right here you have this ring. We're going to put our flathead into this hole right here. And I like to put my finger here, so I'm not prying up on the outside panel, but I'm prying up on my finger, so I don't scratch the outside panel. And this will pop off. Put that to the side. We're going to unscrew these 4 Phillips screws. All right, now that we got these 4 unscrewed, we're gonna pull the hinge kind of like this, and we're going to pry this tab up from the behind, kind of underneath here, and then from the side here, you can see it's popped up. Push it from the side like this, and then we're going to lift and slide this down. So now we've removed it from each other, the outside and the inside panel. I'm gonna go ahead, I like to unplug the battery before I do any soldering, so there might be glue here. On mine there isn't, because I've already unplugged this before. But you'll just take your heat gun, you'll heat it up, and then once the glue is melted, you will use your flathead to gently pry out the battery. Once you've disconnected the battery, we can actually start with the right inside panel replacement. We'll start by removing the ear pad here. And we've got some Phillips screws here. We've got 5 black ones and 2 silver ones. So we're gonna remove those. All right, now that we've removed those 7 screws, we'll fold this open. And you'll see we got a bunch of wires here to unsolder. So I personally am going to take my phone, take a picture, a clear picture, hopefully, of these, so that I have something to reference back when I'm soldering back on these wires. So you can see here, we can see which wires go where. I recommend you do the same, or you can see on the video, but it's easier if you just take a picture yourself. You have something to refer to. Now that we've done that, we're going to just unsolder all these wires from the charger port. So we'll put some flux on there. All right, and then we're just going to unsolder these. And then we'll unsolder the MS port. Put some flux on there and do the same. Now that that's all unsoldered, we will take our Phillips screwdriver and remove this center cap screw on the speaker cup. Then we'll pull it forward. Take this off, and we'll set both of these to the side. And then we've already unscrewed the screws from the outside panel, so we can actually just pull these wires through as well. And then we've removed our right inside panel. We can set the headphones to the side for now. First thing we'll do is we'll remove the battery. I like to get under on this side and very, very gently, lightly pry up. You don't want to puncture the battery with the metal pry tool, so I just very gently pry this up, and it's pretty easy. Once you get under it, you can use your finger. You'll see there's some glue here. Use the heat gun to heat that up and remove the wires from the inside panel. Here we are. Put the battery to the side. So when you get your right inside panel, you'll see that it is missing a few things that this one has, like the gasket and the metal ring, as well as the center screw cap. So we're actually gonna remove them from this guy. So we'll start by clipping off all of these plastic things. I recommend that you kind of close your eyes and don't point it at yourself, because it will shoot into your face sometimes like that. Once you've clipped all those, you can remove it and then push this through as well and remove that. Now you can toss this one in the garbage. Grab your new one. Again, you can get this at joesg.com, #plug. And then we're gonna add this guy first. So this flush part, see how this part kind of jaunts out? The flush part is gonna be up here, and the part that jaunts out needs to be kind of protruding right there a little bit. So once you put that in, I use my solder iron to flatten these plastic things, kind of melt it into place. You can also use your heat gun and your pry tool to push it down, but I find this a little easier. Now you got that on there. we're going to add the gasket. I like to take this opportunity to clean the gasket because it can get pretty dirty. A lot of junk can get in there. So I take a microfiber, some rubbing alcohol, clean it up good. This one's really clean because these headphones really never been used other than for, you know, test purposes, but some of these can be really dirty, so spend your time cleaning these. You'll thank yourself later down the road. Once we've cleaned it, we will find the 2 holes right here. We'll line them up with these 2 pegs on here. Push that down, and then we'll do the same with this guy. Sometimes it'll be flipped over and it won't make sense, but flip it back and it'll be lined up properly. There you are. And then we'll use our heat gun and our pry tool. We'll heat each of these pegs up for about 5 to 8 seconds, 5-10 seconds. Once they're kind of melted, hold it down for 3 seconds, and then it will be secured. So we'll do that on all of these little things, all these little plastic nubs.
Hey, this is Joe from the Sauna. If this video brought you value, please support us by buying parts, tools, refurbished electronics, or sending your device in for repair so we can keep offering you free repair tutorials. Back to the video.
Now that we've got all these melted down, we can give it a little, let it cool off a little bit and give it a little tug. Everything's snug and secured. So now that we've assembled this right inside panel, we've got everything we need on here. We can go ahead and start reassembling the headphones. So we'll take our unit, and I like to, well, actually we'll throw this battery right here real quick. I like to feed all these through first. So we'll start with the charger port wire, this red and black one. Feed those through, and then we'll just move on to the MS port wire. And then the speaker wire. All right, we'll do the charger port wire, and then the speaker wire. Pull all these through, not all the way, but a good amount. Fold this, and then we'll put the battery. We want to put it like this with the battery cable on the top left side. Push it down. And then you'll see the battery here. It's got an exposed gold side, and then it's got this kind of darker side. We want to plug the darker side in up. So the gold side's on the bottom toward the power board. Like that. We're actually not going to plug it in right now, but that's how you do it. We'll also go ahead and strengthen this hinge by taking this little metal piece. You see this metal piece right here? That's what holds your headphones in when you slide them up and down. This is the ridge that it sits in. So we like to kind of hold the bottom side of it and pry out that little hump. That'll make it so it slides better and clicks better into place. So we'll go ahead and assemble the thing around the hinge here. We will push this hinge into the outside panel. Slide this down pretty low and slide these little tabs in, these small tabs on top. Like that. Push down and slide up. We missed on the left side here, we made it on the right, so we'll just slide back down. Make sure that it's all lined up properly, and we'll slide it back in. Left side looks like we're in this time, and the right side we're in. So line that up good, slide it all the way up, pull these wires through, make sure nothing's snagging on there. All right. Now we can put the speaker cup back on. We'll do the same, we'll slide all these wires into the proper holes. And just the one hole, I guess. Pull all these through. We don't want any slack kind of in between these. We want it to be somewhat tight, not all the way tight, but pretty tight. And then you'll see this right here is a very little indent on the speaker cup. That is where the charger port sits. So we want that to be lined up kind of with this part of the gasket. It's a little bigger gap than the other one. See, there's a smaller gap, then there's the big gap down here. We want to line up all these gaskets into these holes. You can kind of see them on camera, it's not great, but all the holes in the speaker cup is where the gasket goes. So we're gonna line that up as best we can. We can pull these wires through still. Line them up as best we can, settle them into place, tuck them in, line them up here too, you can see them. Yeah, we're lined up. Then we'll take our center cap screw, this little wider one, and we will screw it in the speaker cup. Push down, make sure that's snug. All right, Now, the hardest part probably is going to be pulling in this gasket. So the gasket obviously is not fully in, it's just lined up. So what we're gonna do is use our finger and push back here on each one of these holes. See, as it's coming up, I'm gonna take my clippers here, and I'm not gonna squeeze. I'm just gonna very gently grab it and pull it toward me. Very, very slow and gentle. You do not wanna rip the gasket because it gets way harder. So patience here is key. If you can't quite snag it, I like to use my tweezers and kind of pull it up just a little bit, then use these to grab it. Again, we're very gentle, very patient on this because you can clip it. Obviously these are clippers, so you can clip the gasket and you do not want to do that. So this takes a great patience, but once you get the hang of it, it makes complete sense. These wires will get in the way. Try not to clip them on accident. That would be terrible. One more to go. All right, now that we pulled all these through, and you can tell because they've got little nibs. I don't even know how to explain it, but that holds them in place. There's a little edge. Once those are all pulled through, you know you've done it correctly. Check here. This is gonna be flush. It's not sticking out anywhere. Looks good. So now we're going to solder back on the speaker and the charger port and all that good stuff. We'll pull these wires through, and we're going to refer back to our picture, and we'll start with let's start with the MS port. So this guy right here. We've got from top down with the charge port on the bottom on this MS port, we've got black, brown, white, red. So we'll start with that. And it's this cable right here, obviously with the 4 black, brown, white, and red. Add a little bit of flux on there. And then I like to use this vice grip back here just to hold it down because it will spin around and that's pretty annoying. So again, we've got black, brown, white, and red top down. I'll use my tweezers to grab the wire and obviously the solder iron to solder it on there. Try to get these wires out of the way. And this might come out of place, that's okay. So we've got brown next. Get this white cable out of the way. And then white. And then last, red. Push this down, make sure it stays in place. And then we'll move on to the charger port. We've got 2 wires here. We've actually got this yellow one and the actual charging cable. So we will start with this one because we need the copper one. We're gonna go right to left. On the right, we've got copper. Yeah, I'm switching hands here. Can't do it left-handed. Add a little bit of flex. There we go. And then we're going to use this one. So we've done the copper one on this yellow wire. Now we've actually got the black one from this one. So we will grab it, bring it down here. Again, we're going right to left. So the second one is the black one from this one. Get it soldered on there, and then we've got red, green, red. Red from this yellow one, so we get this red one. From the this yellow main internal wire. Solder that on in the middle. There we are, and then we got this green one, also from the yellow wire. Sweet, and then we've got this red one from the red and black wire. Cool, well now those are all on, we'll remove this vice grip, and we will solder on the speaker. We've got this red and green one, that's obviously the positive. And then you've got this blue one, it's hiding back here. And that is your negative on the speaker. Make sure that's soldered on well, give it a little tug. Seems good here, good connection. All right, now we've got all that soldered. We can, I kind of like to use my fingers, tuck them into the speaker so they're not in the way of the screw holes while we're putting the screws back in. And we'll line up this charger port again with this little indent. So it's flush. As soon as I got that in, I will look through all these holes very, very closely. It's hard to show on camera, but I'll look through all these screw holes and make sure there are no wires in the way of the screws, because you do not want to put a screw through the wire. This looks good. So we're going to take these silver screws, and these are the charger port screws. I'll put one of those in first. All right, and then I'll take one of the black ones and I'll put in the top screw. Then I'll put the second charger port screw in. And then once you've done that, you can put the remaining 4 black speaker screws in. All right, and once we've got that final screw in, I will actually plug in the battery. You can do that by either using your flathead to, if you're good with it, you can kind of slide it in from here. But for video purposes, I'm going to just do this again, slide this down. Oh, come on, man. There we go. Sorry about that. Just remove it, and then I will plug in the battery. Again, gold side down. Gonna line it up, and then I use my flathead to just push it in. Oh. And as soon as you plug it in, they should like start flashing. This is super dead. We haven't charged it in a while, so that's why it's not flashing. But yours will start flashing. We'll go ahead and do the same thing here. We'll put it all back together. We'll clip it in on this right side and slide in the left side. We'll slide it up, make sure that it's flush and flush. Then this is very, very, very important when screwing in this outside panel. You could see, I don't know if you can tell, there's a blue wire in the way there, the red one's in the way here. So be very, very careful when you are screwing this in that there are no wires tucked in. Still there. You can kind of use your flathead to maneuver them out of the way. You can even do one of these. That'll extend the hinge and sometimes move the wires a little bit to get out of your way. Still got one in the way there. Do not want to put a wire through, or a screw through one of the wires, because then you basically have to replace the whole main internal wire. And that is quite the headache. But now we're good. We got all 4 clear. So we'll hold it in place and screw in these outside panel screws. Once we get this final 4th screw in, you can put back this little O-ring thing onto here. You'll see the little nub or small indent, and you'll see this right here. Line them up, and the old adhesive should be plenty to hold this. If not, you can apply some double-sided tape and it should hold in place, but usually the adhesive is fine if you removed it properly. Last but not least, obviously we'll check the slide function and make sure it's good, and we will attach the tab. I like to put some double-sided tape right up here. All right, and our double-sided tape, about this big, we'll throw it right here on the inside. And then we will take our tweezers to remove the one side, and we will slide in the tab so it's flush on this side, and then clip it on this side into the inside panel. Then we will take our ear pad. The tape ripped off a little here. That's usually okay, but you can get some new ear pad tape, put it on here, and then we're gonna go ahead and put this on. Obviously line up the charger port with the charger port, this hole with this peg, and this hole with this peg. It's easy, you just line up the charger port, make sure it's flush, and then come up here, push down. I like to hold it like this for about 5 seconds, just to make sure that it's adhered and sticky. And that is how you replace the right inside panel on your Beats Studio Pros. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I answer the YouTube comments almost every day, and if I can't answer them, I'll send you to a technician that can here at Joe's GE. This has been AJ with Joe's Gaming Electronics. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching.
If you guys love what we do, please support us. You guys can click on the links that we have on the end screen. You guys can buy parts, sales, or service so we can continue to make great videos for you guys for many more years. Thank you.